This is a Film Stories original podcast.
We made this.
Welcome back everyone to the Xcast. The truth is in here. I'm your host Tony Black and welcome to another patron exclusive commentary track this week for the classic season 6 mindbender Triangle. And I'm really happy to be joined in the first time we've ever recorded, as we've just been saying off air, with Xcast patron and huge X-Files fan Annie Flowers. Annie, it's really nice to do this with you.
It is so good to be here talking about Triangle and so nice to, quote unquote, meet you finally.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because you've been involved in the Xcast community for a while now and you're a huge X-Files fan in many different ways. So what do you think of Triangle? I mean, is this a particularly favourite episode of the X-Files for you?
Yeah. I have very fond memories because, you know, sometimes you watch an episode when you're younger. This came out probably when I was, 16 or something. And it kind of hits different when you're older. But this one lives up to its hype. It's a feel-good episode. It's a lot of fun. There's time travel, great music. I'm embarrassed to say how much the music has inspired young Annie in what I listen to. You know, the camera shots are amazing. There's just so much to love about this episode. So I'm really excited to watch it with you, talk about it.
Yeah, these commentaries are always super fun. And Triangle is one that's just recognised by so many people as, you know, one of the great episodes of the X-Files. For loads and loads of different reasons, and I'm sure we'll get into a fair bit of this. But yeah, it's going to be great fun, this. And I'm not on a lot of season 6 episodes of the actual Xcast, but it's going to be fun doing some of these standout season 6 stories, because there really is nothing like Triangle, like in the X-Files sort of canon. It really is quite unique in that sense. So yeah, I think this is going to be a blast. Absolutely.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Right then, so the rules. If you are one of our regular patrons, or anyone who is listening to this, you may well have listened to a commentary track before, but it's very simple how we do this. You will have queued up the episode on your TVs. I would ask you to turn your sound down to fairly low to listen along to our commentary as we go, and we're going to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and when I say play, that's the point to hit play on the episode, and you'll hear us talking about this episode, chewing over different things, as we've said, having a bit of fun with it. So I think that's nice and simple. It should flow pretty easily. So Annie, are you ready to do this?
Yes, let's do it.
Alrighty, so on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1, play. And we're off with the ocean.
Very pretty.
And yeah, the Sargasso Sea, 64 degrees west southwest. And can you make out the name on the boat here?
Lady Garland. Oh, interesting, like Judy Garland.
Absolutely. Exactly.
I don't know if I ever noticed that before. Oh my goodness.
No, me neither. This is one of the many references Triangle has to the Wizard of Oz.
I can't believe I never realized that. Well, I'm so happy we're doing this so I can see things I never noticed before.
This is essentially a fact-finding mission, Anna, here.
Let's look for everything. Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. I feel very stupid now. I can't tell you how many times I've seen this episode.
I absolutely, I'm the same. It was only really researching, there it is again, Lady Garland. This is Mulder's wrecked boat, obviously, and it's only when in researching this episode I realised this. I realised these Wizard of Oz connections and that boat name. And here he is.
Poor Mulder.
Big man himself. He looks pretty dead.
Get him out of the water. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very short sort of opening, really, isn't it? It only clocks in at around about minute or two, something like that, and it's very it's not a minute and a half. So it's it's a very short teaser, which is unusual, really. You normally get them slightly longer than this.
Yeah, well, but it's enough to grab you. Mulder's in the water. What happened?
Yeah, it's as simple as that, really, isn't it?
It is.
How did this happen? It's. I would have thought at this point it would have been Die Wahrheit ist. I couldn't even catch all that.
We should look up what that means.
We should. Die Wahrheit ist. We can't even pause it, Annie. That's the worst thing.
Not without having to resync it.
Absolutely, yeah. But I think I was surprised this episode didn't pull like what they call like in media res, where it flashes back to how you see Mulder get into that position, but it doesn't do that, really, does it? It's sort of, it does it slightly differently. That's what surprised me with this one.
Well, also, you wouldn't have been able to do that with the gimmick that they're pulling here with the single shot.
Yeah. Which comes from Alfred Hitchcock, apparently.
He started that?
Well, yeah, it was in his film. I don't know if he started that, but it was based heavily on his film Rope from 1948, which did single takes. And in this episode, there are 4 single takes throughout the episode that last around 10 minutes each. So I haven't actually seen Rope, to be honest. So
I haven't
I'd love
seen
to be
it.
able to. Okay, well, I'm sure people listening will have seen Rope, but I'm going to go and watch that, and all through that now I'm probably going to be going, this is like Triangle. Hitchcock has stolen from Chris Carter.
That's how I was with Ice. I had never seen The Thing, and so when I watched The Thing, I was like, oh, this is just like Ice. Amazing.
Yeah, exactly. But that's quite a cool thing, isn't it? Sort of, a lot of people watching this would then, if they found that out, would go and watch Rope. And that's quite cool. It can be an entry point for some things. But this is great. Mulder just having no idea what's going on
this beautiful boat with people not really speaking English.
Yeah, speaking German. Here's the ship's captain. His name is Yip Harburg, the captain's name. Which was the name of the lyricist of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Mm. He's Irish, though, isn't he, the captain, I think, here? Because I think they wanted, like, traditional sort of crewmen who were British and German actual speaking actors, I think, to
That's wonderful
that
they did that. That's great.
Mm.
This was actually filmed on the Queen Mary in Long Beach, which isn't that far away from Los Angeles. And
okay.
I used to live in LA, and I've always been so mad at myself for never having gone to visit. They do probably haunted things at Halloween. You can take tours of the ship.
Oh,
and
amazing.
I lived there my entire life, and I never went to visit.
So would it be this? Would you essentially be able to walk around this set, essentially, and see?
I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sure how much they let you see, but I'm sure you'd get to see a good portion of it.
Yeah, that sounds ace. That'd be great. X-Files location. I know there are people out there who do the X-Files location spotting tours, don't they, in Vancouver and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is one.
Actually, when the X-Files moved to LA, I used to try to go find them as they were shooting, but I never really made it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a shame. That is a shame. I suppose this as well, what's good about this episode is that it's one of the first, like, proper X-Files sort of... I suppose maybe not the first, but in the Bermuda Triangle, it's kind of... or the Devil's Triangle, as he just called it. He's sort of playing on something that's a very well-known paranormal thing, isn't it? This is instantly sort of recognisable to everybody. Everybody knows what the Bermuda Triangle is. So it's almost like a gimmick episode. This guy's name is Robert Beck. Now, I know him from a British TV show called Emmerdale. Have you ever heard of Emmerdale, Annie?
I have not. No. Is it worth watching? Is it worth looking for, or?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Okay. It's a British soap opera.
Oh, and, okay.
Yeah, he was, and I remember he was in it, I think, at the time when this was on, and I remember going, no way, that's that guy from Emmerdale, when I remember, like, 1998, when this came out. And I think I had a brief Twitter conversation with him about this years ago.
Oh, no way, that's so cool.
Yeah, even though it's a tiny little cameo, I think that's an awesome little thing you can say, just a random British actor.
Yeah.
He was in the X-Files.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's a cool looking old radio.
Oh, yeah, it really is. And it's Neville Chamberlain's speech, isn't it? For
yes.
Declaration of War, I think. And Mulder's like, oh my God.
What have I gotten myself into?
It's time travel.
Back to the Bermuda Triangle thing. That was huge in the 90s. They would do unsolved mystery episodes. I remember it was on Quantum Leap. I mean, I was all about it. If there was something about Bermuda Triangle, I was watching it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was one of those... I suppose the other kind of version of that the X-Files did was things like the Jersey Devil, isn't it? You know, and that kind of stuff. But I don't know if it really did that many episodes that was about a well-known paranormal thing. Obviously, you know, Roswell comes into that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is...
Is that the next episode, Dreamland?
Yeah, that's Area 51, isn't it? So yeah,
they're just hitting it all this season.
Yeah, they're sort of going into all these sort of legends, aren't they? Which is quite cool. This is a good little fight to a German song, and Mulder's like, "What the hell, Spender?" You see, this is the question I've always had, Annie. With this, is this a dream? Because I don't really think this ever happened to him, to be honest. Because I think the whole point is that, you know, he's seeing these characters that represent different things, aren't they? You know, Spender and the Smoking Man as actual Nazis, Skinner as the sympathetic Nazi. You know, they fit the roles that they play essentially on the show as real people, don't they? In this, so I think he's having some sort of dream or hallucination or something like that. Personally,
well, one of the great things about the X-Files is that it leaves it up to interpretation. Yeah. But let me propose something else to you. What if these are past lives? People playing the same role in a past life. And he time traveled.
And he actually time traveled. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe. I don't think he actually did, but...
No, who knows though? Like you say, like it's interpretation. Your theory is just as good as mine there, to be honest. Like, definitely. Could be. It's very weird, though, isn't it? I mean, in that sense, it's very weird that they would all be on the same ship, you know? But it's possible. Anything's possible.
Well, like they all work at the Hoover Building, and they're all kind of wrapped up in each other's lives. It's the same on this ship. They have to save the world.
The name of the ballroom singer that was on the poster there is Elmira Gulch. And that is the analogue in The Wizard of Oz for the Wicked Witch of the West, the ballroom singer in this. Again, another little nod, which I had no idea about.
No, great catch there, yeah.
Yeah, as we go into the ballroom and it's all happening.
I love all the music. Oh my God. I know we're not actually listening, but
but you can hear it. You're like me. I'm sure that this is just playing in your head with sound as we're watching without sound. Definitely, I can hear it all. I can hear the music. I know all the cues. I can hear Mark Snow's score. Definitely, it's a great set though, isn't it? I mean, it's gorgeous the way they've done it. The way they've made this ballroom, and that's Kershey's secretary. There.
I heard that it was originally supposed to be Mimi Rogers.
Oh, really?
But they couldn't get her.
Who was the ballroom singer?
That was, so it ended up being Kershey's secretary, but it was originally supposed to be Mimi Rogers or Diana Fowley.
And that would have fitted, wouldn't it? Because she sells him out. Yeah.
I think it would have
good. I didn't know
been
that.
much more effective had it been Fowley.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Maybe it was just too small a role in a way, but even so, that would have been good.
I wonder if they would have expanded it had they been able to get her.
Wait until you get to Russia. But yeah, there's so many funny lines in this. Sorry, it's
so quotable.
It's very quotable. The script is great.
If my kids ask me a question, sometimes I'll respond with John Brown. I don't say the rest of it, but it plays in my head.
Yeah. It's just so brilliantly shot, though, isn't it? Like, you know, the way he manages to do these takes, and you know, it must have been quite the gamut for David Duchovny to run, really, as well, because he's got to stay in character, and you know, all the cues have got to be right with the Steadicam that's, you know, just filming it, and it's one of those things, isn't it, that looks easier than it actually would have been. I
don't think it looks easy. I think it looks really difficult. I can't imagine how they were able to pull it all off, and how uncomfortable it must have been in the rain, getting wet, just everything. It looks really hard.
They were huge sprinkler systems they were installing here to create that rain effect, which really works, because you really do get the sense that they're on a ship in the middle of, like, you know, the ocean here. Oh, and here's the captain.
The heroic captain, poor guy.
He is American, though, the actor, Madison Mason. He just did a very good Irish accent, yeah. I'll not let go of this wheel.
I won't even attempt to do an accent.
Well, I probably shouldn't have either, Annie, to be fair, but I did, you know. Oh, dear. And here we go, the big reveal. Who's this? We know that. We know those hands. Spoos.
Of course he's the head Nazi.
Of course he is. And obviously, all of William B. Davis's lines here are in German, and he learnt it all. Didn't speak any German. He said, "I certainly didn't realise I was going to be speaking a lot of German until I got the script, which just said CSM in German."
Oh God!
So he would have read it all as English. Everything he's saying in English in the script, and then they've gone, you're going to be saying that in German.
Oh no, poor guy.
Yeah. This is amazingly considering.
Do you have an ear for German? How does he do?
I have no idea. I mean, I think... I don't know. I didn't study German at school. I studied French, and I didn't really study that very well.
Okay. Spanish over here, so I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah. No idea. I'm guessing he does well, though. He sounds quite, like, you know...
Help him, Skinner.
He sounds quite effective. Yeah.
Help him.
And here we go. FBI. And there's Scully.
I want to know how they got into the building.
It's the gunman. Yeah, how did they do that? Like who would... Surely someone would have gone, guys. But they've got the badges, haven't they? They've probably faked the badges, so...
Buyers could get in. That's fine. Langley and Frohickey, no way. They'd be like, who are these guys? Get them out of here.
Yeah. This feels like, you know, we were talking off air about fanfic because there's just been an episode come out, and this feels like a fanfic scene that someone could write. How did the lone gunman get into this building? That feels like an unexplored scene that you could do from this episode.
That's a great idea. Prompt for anyone looking for to write a triangle fanfic. How did the lone gunman get into the building?
Yeah, what did Byers contrive to get these two goofballs in there with him? So yeah, definitely. Go for it, guys. That's a freebie. You can have that one. Gillian Anderson said that this whole experience in these scenes were like theatre. She felt like it was like performing theatre, getting in and out of the lifts, which you'll see her do in a minute. The speed of this as well, I think, is really good, Annie, and that it's faster than a normal scene would be, I think.
It is.
The way they speak, you know, I think, and they manage it with all this dialogue, all of this exposition that the gunmen are giving. It's really well done.
And it must be difficult to get it all out. I mean, it's not normal, like, hey, how are you doing? Oh, yeah, look at that. I mean, some of it is kind of technical. Yeah. And they pull it off. They do a really great job.
Yeah. They really do, yeah.
And you're right. There's a lot of movement. It's very quick. It's never boring because she's just trying to find out information. How do I get to Mulder? And I can see that being so boring, but they do a really great job. Look at her bouncy hair.
Talks to him there. It's like, wait for me downstairs, you weirdos.
Get out of here. So was that Arlene Pileggi?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it is, yeah.
Come on, Skinner.
Look at that picture of Bill Clinton on the wall. There's a marker of time,
wow.
isn't it?
How far we've come.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily in a good way.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I don't mean to get political. I'm sorry. It's probably not. You can cut that out. That's not really for the podcast.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's okay. I think most people listening will agree.
Okay.
There you go. But yeah, he's Skinner giving her the brush off.
I love
this
how
feels like a super fast version of how it normally is. Sorry, Annie.
No. You go ahead.
No, it's just that this is like a super fast version of every sort of kind of conversation they ever have with Skinner, isn't it? Really? Can you help us? Not really. but I will quietly.
I'll do it anyway. Just a quick note: that's Janet Reno in the background, so that's interesting. And then
who's that?
Janet Reno was appointed by Bill Clinton sometime in the 90s. She's the former Attorney General of the United States.
Okay.
And so
right, okay.
It was kind of a big deal at the time.
Right.
Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know. My knowledge of political figures is better nowadays than it was back then.
And I wouldn't expect everyone to know. I remember it being a big deal when she was appointed.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. I think that's a good spot.
I love how badass she is. That's what I was going to say earlier.
Yeah.
How she stands up to him. She's like, just help us already. Come on. You know you're going to do it.
Yeah.
Save your own ass, sir.
Yeah, she just doesn't care.
No.
And that I think this kind of episode just shows how far she's come, really, as a character over the years. Season 1 Scully would never have been like this.
No.
She really is at the point now where she's just got no time for these obstructive officials. And what I love about this is she just cuts to the quick. Look at these looks. Like, ouch. You're not sorry, Scully. Don't worry. It's okay.
She has to pretend.
Yeah.
No, I love how badass she is. I love how she is a woman on a mission. She's going to find out where Mulder is and save his ass again.
Mm. She doesn't mess about. Like, that's the great thing about it. Like, she just goes for it. It's so good. It's so dynamic in terms of storytelling.
It is. One of the...
It is Kirsch.
Oh, Kirsch.
Oh, dear, Kirsch. Likable for, one scene in the whole season, in the whole series, at the end of the truth. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
Does his office seem a little nicer than Skinner's?
Yeah. And they're the same. They're at the same rank at this point, aren't they?
I believe
both assistant
so.
directors.
Yeah.
Kirsch gets the nice office because he's in with Smokey.
Mm-hmm.
I love how she just no acknowledgement of this, but she just knows. Oh God.
I like her trying to be casual, like, no, just patting my head, no big deal. Yep. Okay, thank you.
And then this is great. I love this reaction. She's like, oh God.
So she's doing that from the camera's at her back, and you see her shoulders deflate.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about shame, but embarrassment and maybe defeat. I don't know.
Awkwardness as well.
Awkwardness,
like that kind of, I've just gone in there and But yeah, it's some great physical acting. Do you like I love a little run then as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, she does a lot. Yeah, the physical acting. Yeah, he's really good in this. Like because she has to be more physical in these scenes than maybe she would be in much more of a static, normal, sort of setup. And she does it so well.
Even in the elevator, she's pacing, she's walking around.
Yeah.
I love this scene. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love it.
Either you do it or I kill you.
I also feel, even though Fowley's not in this episode, I feel like it's a little bit pointed at Fowley as well. Her frustration, her anger.
You could have probably done this scene with Fowley.
Oh, absolutely.
And it would not be much different, to be honest. Although you would imagine Fowley would have been more immediately keen to help, like, because she cares about Mulder.
Right.
But Crystal. He's such a lovely man as well, Chris Owens. Like, he's a really nice guy. I was lucky enough to speak to him for the X-Cast, and he was absolute gent.
I love hearing that. That's great.
And he clearly loved playing Spender, and he really still was really fond of it.
Aww.
I love how he after we spoke, he sent me over like a couple of pictures from behind the scenes of filming. I think I put them on the X-Cast Patreon area. One of him in his makeup, well, he's like mould of when he had the Spender sort of makeup on. Another one of his house that he decorated for Halloween.
Oh, that's so
which was
fun.
all full of, it was all full of like skeletons and things like that. It's very good.
So he likes Halloween. That's great.
I think he does. Yeah, really nice guy.
Oops, Scully got caught.
Oh
boy.
Yeah, because that was that the smoking man on the other end? I think it was, wasn't it? Near trip there, near fall over, near slip.
See,
looks like she almost slips.
Yeah, that sounds like Gillian.
Yeah,
bumping into things, falling.
I love how Scully's just blagging here. Oh yeah, I just had to pick up.
I feel like Kirsch's secretary came down too fast. There's no way.
Yeah, definitely. What's great, I think, about this as well is that it's stupid. It's the whole. It almost turns the FBI into a bit of a soap opera, and I think that's intentional, and it really works in this kind of heightened.
It does
sort of episode. There's a real comedy about, or even though it's like she's dealing with like arch villains of the show, there's a real comedy about it. Which look at this. It's brilliant.
Like they didn't see her. Oh, I'll just go run back in, hide.
Yeah. It's so good.
Who's she on the phone with? Who's it gonna be?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, there he is.
Now.
And a moment which.
I want to know what Sarah Blair thinks of that kiss.
That was my first thought myself. Sarah, are you okay at this point? Because you're probably not. Like,
do you approve of this ship, Sarah? We want to know.
Yeah, I think, much as she loves Mulder and Scully, I think she would. I think she'd be fine with it.
The look she's getting on elevators. Oh God.
Yeah, this is it. What's interesting is that all the boring normal FBI people must just think that she and Mulder are a pair of lunatics.
Yes.
Like she busts out here with these weirdos in their VW van or whatever. You know, she's a proper. They must think they're just both a pair of eccentrics, which is wonderful, really.
Is that Spender? Yeah.
I think it's Bender. Yeah. So good. I in a way, I think that's my favourite sequence of this entire episode, weirdly, even though all the stuff on the ship is great. Like, I love that. I just think it's such good, almost farce. Like that, it just click. Everything's great about that. I love it. Is Mulder talking about what's going to happen in the war? Completely breaking the rules, Annie, of temporal mechanics here.
You're right. I never thought about that.
You know, he doesn't care. Like he's Mulder's watched Star Trek. He knows this doesn't end well. Like, you know,
he must have seen Back to the Future as well.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. He must have seen all of it. The time machine. You know,
I'm more preoccupied with him spilling all the information to the Germans. I know he doesn't know, but he must assume there's a traitor in their midst. And he's just telling them everything. And I'm like, shut up, Mulder. Be quiet. You don't know who's listening. Please. I've always been so preoccupied with that I never thought about the time travel aspect.
No, exactly. You do. I think that makes sense, really. I don't know if everyone would really think of that stuff. And again, this is why I stick with my theory that it's a dream, you know, and that this is all happening in his head. And that the only real stuff we're seeing is the stuff with Scully and the FBI.
Right, trying to find him.
And he's basically just gone off looking for this ghost ship, and he's hull is broke, and he's just having this dream in the water. But
that probably makes the most sense.
But as we say, who knows?
It is the X-Files. You never know.
It is. I like the idea if you time travel, to be honest. I think that's far more fun in reality.
It is. Oh, no, Mulder. Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
No, don't, no.
Oh, Thor's
hammer wasn't a real weapon either. Thor's hammer was something that they made up based on kind of real, like, technology.
Mm-hmm.
But the actual code name of this same kind of atomic research thing was the development of substitute materials. And they were like, that's boring.
That is boring.
Let's call it Thor's hammer.
It does sound much more interesting.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was a good call.
Yeah. Trust no one, man! That's amazing.
Don't you know there are spies everywhere?
Love it. Absolutely love it to bits. The German thing at the start, by the way, the words we couldn't make out, that is the truth is out there in German. Die Wahrheit ist Egrendo der Trauben. I've just probably...
I won't even attempt it. Yeah. Well done.
Thank you. I'm not sure I deserve that praise, but thank you. I'll take it.
I'm impressed that you would even try, because I would be... I just know I couldn't do it.
James Pickens Jr. doing a decent enough Jamaican accent, I think, here.
I think so. I mean, yeah. I'm not really Jamaican. I can't really say, but...
No.
So it's interesting. They don't put him in a villain role at all in the past, I mean.
Yeah. Could it be that Mulder's just not sure about him at this point? Like, if he's sort of transposing... If we go by the theory that he's transposing all of these people onto what he imagines they are and literalising who they are, maybe he just doesn't know about Kurtz.
Yeah.
Maybe he thinks there's, at this stage, because he doesn't know him very well, that he might be okay and he might...
Perhaps.
I don't know.
He is trying to get them away from where Mulder needs to go. So he's trying to go back home. Off course.
True.
Not unlike what's happening with the X-Files,
Absolutely.
So
yeah, that's a great
sense.
point. Yeah, it does, definitely. That works.
But not in a villain role. So.
Sure. Yeah.
Mulder. Those lights are hanging so low.
Yeah. Just the use of lighting, I think, in this is marvellous as well. Like the way the smoke effects, and to do this with one take with a I mean, it's just astonishingly good. It's so amazing.
They did a fantastic job.
And this kind of, yeah.
I think they were talking about
pulsing through the corridors.
Chris Carter possibly winning the Emmy for this.
Yeah. I can't remember if he did or not.
I don't think so.
I'm not sure.
But it was very critically acclaimed. People loved it.
Yeah. Understandably. There's been a lot of writing about it as well, and a lot of critical analysis about, this one. More than perhaps some others. And I think I understand why, because I think it sort of taps into a lot of the themes of the show while being a real adventure, and it just looks... I mean, is that whole... You do get that whole question, don't you, of which era of the show was better? Was it better when it before LA or after LA? But I mean, once they were in LA, I should say. But, you can't beat a lot of these kind of season 6 stories, even though they are like completely, massively away from the show's sort of dark, cult, grungy sort of starting point. They're so good, though.
They are. I think my biggest problem with we're not talking about LA, but the biggest problem I had was just the sunlight. It Vancouver kind of gave it a different kind of character, and the sunlight really took away from that once you moved into Los Angeles. Not that I wasn't thrilled that they were in LA.
just changed things a little bit.
It did.
Really. But
the storytelling was still fairly good.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's some great episodes. And I think you could have done this in the Vancouver era, but I think you can see that they've got a bit more money here and a bit more resources, and I'm not sure you could have quite done it in the same way. Oh dear, poor guy. Bloody Nazis.
Scully.
Yeah.
So this was 1998, right? November something 1998. Nazis were pretty much a thing of the past. Oh God, I'm getting political again. You can just cut that. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking how much things have changed, but you definitely cut that. That's not. I'm sorry. I keep getting political.
No, it's fine. It's fine. If I'm honest, Danny, it's going to be difficult to cut anything because it's a.
Oh, farts! You're right. Thing. Okay, I'll be quiet.
But no, I get what you mean. I mean, they're dressed. This is Indiana Jones sort of style Nazis. They're in the real glistening sort of Nazi costumes. And like what we say, not to get too political, but you have you have Nazis in this modern day, and they're not dressed like this.
No.
So it's a very different kind of thing. These are the classic sort of almost. Well, they were comedy Nazis in Indiana Jones, weren't they? And here they're like they're just pure evil, aren't they? There's no. They're theatrical, and that again, it goes back to what Gillian Anderson was saying about how this is all very, this could be on stage.
It could.
You could totally stage this. I really think you could in a way. I think you could. This could be a great stage show episode of the X-Files if you got sorted the sets out and everything like that. I think it could be done.
I would watch that absolutely.
Yeah.
And here it is.
There's the ship. Beautiful old ship. So again, for me, this is real.
Yes.
This is actually happening. Although, is it? Because, well, actually, it must be, because it...
Well, this is where...
This is, yeah, this...
No, you go ahead.
This is technically from the past, isn't it? So, they're seeing... This is a ghost ship, isn't it, at this point? They're seeing... Yeah. So is it happening? I don't know.
Is
I'm
it?
just guessing. Nice little swipe there, like Star Wars style screen swipe to transition scenes.
Poor Scully.
Yeah. She looks so good though, doesn't she, in this 30s, 40s style.
I would wear that dress. That's great. That's a great, beautiful dress. I love the color.
Yeah. Of course you're the scientist.
Of course she would play a badass role in the 1930s.
She works for the OSS. The OSS, the Office of Strategic Services, didn't actually exist technically at this point, because this was 1939. Wasn't established till 1942, but it's a minor point. No one's going to really pick up on that except boring fact stat people like me.
Did you know that, or did you have to look it up?
Oh, I looked at all of this. Okay, I didn't know any.
Okay,
I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known that.
No.
Oh no.
This could be it.
I love that on a giant ship, he does manage to run into Scully, though. Yeah. Because it's big. It's so huge.
Yeah, it is huge. Yeah. They end to always find each other. To be honest, all this actually, weirdly, reminds me of The Shining. Actually. Like, have you seen The Shining?
Yeah.
Have you seen The Shining, Annie?
Yeah.
It just feels like the Overlook Hotel. It's that whole sort of ballroom sort of that kind of era, glamour. Well, until this happens, so you get the
brawl.
Yeah, the war encapsulated in a ballroom fight.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, I can see that.
A woman whacking him with the.
I love her.
Lady. Yeah, she's cool. And the music here is on full going full to burst up, isn't it? He for this, Mark Snow wanted, like, he looked at a lot of big band stuff, so he was looking at things like Glenn Miller, back in the day, called it the bouncy sort of instrumental stuff that you get through the ballroom fight there. It was inspired actually by a swing tune that John Williams wrote for 1941, the Steven Spielberg film. So Mark Snow's playing off quite a few greats there for his score. He's brilliant for this. Absolutely.
I was just about to say how wonderful the music is.
Yeah. I think it really helps sell this episode, actually. I think without the music, this wouldn't quite work as well.
And it must have been so fun for him to get away from his normal moody music to do something really big.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because that's it, isn't it? It's a massive change. It really is. It's a very unique piece of music, this episode. As you said, we're coming up to the scene here, aren't we? Where
yes.
The two Scullys walk over each other's grave, if you like. Which I think is brilliant. She must have had fun doing this, though, Gillian. Playing this sassy, 30s era Scully.
It must get so boring playing the same thing over and over again, the same person, character. So for her to be able to do this, I'm sure she had a blast.
Hey, Skinner, hero moment.
Always comes through.
Yeah, good man. Mitch gamely having a go at a German accent as well. I think he does a good job.
Does he?
Hopefully. I'm saying all this. I've never even been to Germany. I don't.
Oh, even I've been to Germany a couple times.
You know more than me.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, 15 years ago.
It counts. And here we go. Split screen. Now, you didn't see this on television, did you, at this point? I mean, this is, the next time you see this kind of thing is when 24 comes out, and they start doing all the split screen stuff.
Oh, do they?
But
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Brilliant moment, that. I love that. And that Annie does suggest he's time travelled to me, because that's almost like two time periods sort of intersecting there.
That's true.
In many ways. So that sort of blows the dream theory out the water a little bit, the fact that Scully sensed something there.
I like how you are refuting your own theory that it's just a dream. You're looking for the clues.
I am.
I'm kind of just here for the ride.
Yeah. This is what I do, though. I look too hard. If you look too hard, you can go mad. Doesn't Mulder say that at one point? Yeah. But yeah, the split screen stuff in 24, then, because they do this, they sort of, at various points, you'll get the screen contract like this, and it will go in. You'll also show two different events simultaneously happening. But I just hadn't really seen that in television before this. Not done in this way.
X-Files was quite the trendsetter.
Yeah.
Now here she
Absolutely.
is looking at the outcome of the fight.
Mm.
The torn up ballroom.
This is very Shining. Again, there's very overlook. Just going back to Mitch Pileggi briefly. He actually could speak German.
Oh, really?
He'd studied in Germany, and he had to rewrite some of the scenes because they didn't make any sense in terms of the accent and the dialogue. So
well done, Mitch.
So Mitch does know it. Yeah, he's the only one.
Good job.
Yeah, for sure.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Sorry,
This actually goes back to, as well, Scully's thesis, doesn't it? Einstein's twin paradox. And he's talking about Einstein's theory. He can prove time travel exists and all this. So in a way, he's sort of trying to prove Scully's, I love the music when this is on. The music swells as well. That's a kiss, that is.
She liked it, but she's a little pissed.
Yeah. Hence the punch. Yeah. Is that though? I mean, is that what the kiss Mulder's wanted to give her for like 6 years? Because I think it is.
I think so.
That kiss is just, oh my god, I need this kiss. You know.
I mean, he thinks he's going to die, so
yeah,
he went for it.
It's a great moment though, because you really feel that. You really, and they really put, you really get across that sense that, you know, they both. There's a real sort of passion there. It's very good.
And she's mad, but she's also worried about him. She threw him the lifesaver just in case.
Yeah.
And here he is. This is how we started. Mulder floating in the water.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the last sort of scene that's filmed in that sense. I think this is a little bit more conventional now, isn't it? This scene, I guess, in many ways.
So this is Dorothy waking up.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you get a reference, I think, in a minute to The Wizard of Oz itself, sort of to sell off that, you know, to cap off that, you know, constant thing going through the episode. You went looking for a ship in the Bermuda Triangle, like you maniac. What are you even doing with your life?
Just stop, Mulder. Just stop.
Yeah.
You were there too.
And my dog Toto, there you go. So yeah.
So he went back to 1939, and The Wizard of Oz premiered in 1939.
Yeah.
So did he really go back? Have you made up your mind yet?
I'm increasingly convinced I'm wrong throughout this episode. So I think, like, you know, let us know, guys, what you think. Does he really time travel, or is it just a dream? Answers on a postcard.
1939. So who's Cowardly Lion, Scarecrow, and Toto in this?
I think it was, because that was in the film, wasn't it, as well, Fight the Future? I think it was Langley was the... Oh no, was it Byers? Byers was Cowardly Lion, Langley was Scarecrow, and Frohike was Toto. Definitely for Frohike, I think. Absolutely.
Yeah. So even in
There's
Mulder's...
no place like home.
Yeah. Even in Mulder's dreams, Scully saves the day.
The world. Him. Oh, I love you.
And she doesn't believe him.
Brother.
She doesn't believe him.
Do you think he means that though, doesn't he? I think there, like,
right.
I think he really means it, and not just in a "I love you," like you're my friend way. I love you. I'm in love with
yes.
you. Is this where he realizes?
I think so. I think he realized it before, but some things happened after Fight the Future in the beginning where she wouldn't say that she saw the ship. She wouldn't confirm that, and he got really upset. But I think this is where he realizes that no, I do love Scully. Everything else that happened doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think so. And that is as great a place as any to hit the stop button, guys. We're there.
Yay,
We've done it.
We did it.
We did
Thank you so much. That was so fun.
Yeah, I loved it. Thank you. I know. I love doing these commentaries. I think I mean, there's loads and loads of detail about this episode, and I dare say it will have been covered in the main X-Files episode that I think Kurt has hosted. But I just think it's such fun just sitting along and watching these and pulling things out and, you know, reacting to these great moments, you know. So, yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it.
And it's fun watching with someone who also loves the show, you know, talking about it and just reveling in all that is X-Files.
Absolutely. And I'd say to anyone listening who's a patron, if you haven't done one of these and you want to, just let me know. Give me a shout, because the plan is to do one a month, so we're gonna get through plenty of them. Some of them will tie in with the episodes like this one that are currently airing, that are mainly being discussed. But, we're going to do episodes from every season. Well, maybe not season 9, but, if somebody really mind you, we did Babylon. And so you can't get much worse than Babylon. Well, we had a great time. We had a great time recording Babylon, Annie. It was, even for a terrible episode, we had such a laugh. So
I guess there could be a lot to talk about that one, as painful as it is to sit there and watch it. It
was bad. I wouldn't want to watch. I think if I ever watch it again, I'll watch it with our commentary, to be honest, because that might make it easier. But we'll definitely do more of these, and hopefully, I'd love to have you back for another one, Annie. At some point.
I would love that. Let me know.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Definitely. Okay. Oh, awesome. Okay, that'd be great. I mean, a lot of people who are in the Patreon area or are listening to this will know where you are as well. But why don't you just let people know where they can find you online before we leave?
Absolutely. I am on Twitter at AnnieXFlowers, and I'm on Tumblr, but I'm not that active. I think I'm Annie X Ami, so ANNIE. No, I'm Annie Ami. God, I don't know what I am. I'm so bad at Tumblr. So I'm Annie X Ami, ANNIEX AMI.
I like what you've done there, though. That's good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
No big deal.
It's clever. I like it.
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Well, go and check out Annie's stuff, guys. That's great. You do some. We were talking briefly before, I think, about fan fiction and things like that. You do a bit of that as well, don't you? Or you're involved a little bit in that kind of stuff.
I do, yeah. Oh my gosh, thank you. I record for Audio Fanfic Podcast, and we have so many great recorders. Go and listen to, or not recorders, narrators. Go and listen to Audio Fanfic Podcast for classic and contemporary stories, and you can. Well, yeah, you can hear me reading on there along with everyone else. And I don't know, should I also say my AO3 account or?
Why not? Yeah,
okay.
Why not?
All right, and I'm on AO3 as well. I'm everywhere. I'm on AO3. I write as Annie Ami, so not unlike my Tumblr.
Cool. Absolutely. Yeah. Plug away.
Okay, thank you.
Do it. Definitely. It's all great stuff. Yeah. Go and check it out, guys. Absolutely. Annie's doing some great stuff there. So, thank you again for coming on and doing this. And obviously, you all know where to find the Xcast and me if you want to follow me on Twitter, AJ Blackwriter. We'll be back soon for another commentary. We've got some great ones planned in the coming months. But thanks again, Annie. It's been really nice.
Tony, thank you.
We'll definitely speak again soon. No, thank you. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah, such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, thanks. That's great. And thanks for listening, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've had some fun, as much fun as we have watching Triangle. And until next time, remember, trust no one. The Xcast and X-Files podcast was created by Tony Black and is produced and hosted by Carl Sweeney, Sarah Blair, and Kurt North.
You can find the podcast on Twitter at the X_cast, on Facebook by typing in the Xcast, and in our group, X-Files Basement, the Xcast podcast fan group, and on Instagram at the Xcast pod.
Don't forget, you can support the show by becoming a member on Patreon. Our patrons get early access to episodes, behind-the-scenes chats with our hosts and a thriving community of X-Files, and other premium interviews and specials. To find out more and subscribe, you can go to patreon.com/thexcast. That's patreon.com/thexcast.
We are also part of the We Made This podcast network, full of popular culture shows, including our Millennium series, The Time Is Now. You can find all of our shows at our website, wemadethispod.com, or via Twitter at wemadethispod.
Thanks for listening and keep watching the skies.